show you evidence that you can test and observe to prove Darwin's theory of changing kinds.
Since I would say, look at Lenski's experiments with bacteria then.
So what do the bacteria become?
The bacteria are still bacteria, of course.
So that's not Darwinian evolution. That's not a change of kinds, is it?
It is a change. It is a change in the genetic makeup of the bacteria, which is
They're still bacteria. So what do the bacteria become?
A new kind of bacteria.
So it's still bacteria. There's no change of kinds.
DNA is an immaterial code expressed by materials. The order in which the letters appear is not determined, however, by any chemical, physical, or biological process. Dr. Frank Turek made a great analogy for this.
Suppose you love alphabet cereal. You're a teenager, and one day you come downstairs to have a bowl of alphabet cereal, and you see the cereal's knocked over on the table, and right in the middle of the table, the letters spell, "Take out the garbage, Mom." What are you going to assume? The cat knocked the box over? Earthquake shook the house? No, you're going to say that that's intelligent design from an intelligent being, Mom. Or let's say you're walking along the beach and you see in the sand, "John loves Mary." What do you assume? The waves did that? Crabs came out of the water and made that message? No, you're going to say that there had to be an intelligent being there because you know in all your prior experience that messages only come from minds. They don't come from repetitive natural forces.
Evolutionists can in no way offer any explanation on the subject of how DNA originated. How is it that fish, reptiles, insects, birds, or human beings came to have different DNA and different genetic information? The evolutionist answer for this question is that it's mutations occurring. But even former president of the French Academy of Sciences, who is also an evolutionist, Pierre Grasset, stated, "The opportune appearance of mutations permitting animals and plants to meet their needs seems hard to believe. A single plant, a single animal will require thousands and thousands of lucky, appropriate events." If our minds or brains are a result of an evolutionary unguided process and not an intelligent designer, we wouldn't be able to reason. Charles Darwin himself realized this problem. He said, quote, "But then with me the horrid doubt always arises whether the conviction of a man's mind which has been developed from the mind of lower animals are of any value or at all trustworthy. Would anyone trust in the convictions of a monkey's mind if there are any convictions in such a mind?" Charles Darwin also identified himself as a theist. It's on page 92 of his autobiography. Scientists have found proof that the first chicken came before the first egg. This is consistent with the special creation of chickens, but not with the gradual descent with modifications from a proto-chicken to a proto-egg. Take a look at the giraffe. The giraffe's heart creates immense pressures to drive the blood up the neck to the brain. So when it lowers its head to drink water, all that blood should rush to the brain and rupture the arteries, killing the giraffe. But the giraffe has valves that restrict the blood flow when it lowers its head. Giraffe could not have evolved a long neck without the valves and had no need to evolve the valves unless it had a long neck. Evolution still can't explain this. There is no explanation within the theory of evolution through natural selections for the mechanism in which a caterpillar turns into a butterfly. We have the perfect number of teeth to fit in our mouths. While creation perfectly accounts for that result, evolution predicts the contrary result. As our faces evolved from chimpanzee-like faces to human faces, the shortening of the muzzle would have caused the teeth to become badly overcrowded in the front of our mouth. If evolution were able to explain where human beings came from, then every personality type should benefit human life. This is clearly untrue because the world is filled with liars, psychopaths, and murderers. These traits clearly do not benefit humanity. Constantly mutating drug-resistant pathogens, such as MRSA, have been demonstrated to be the result of devolution rather than evolution. This is the exact opposite of what evolutionary theory predicts. There is a lack of any demonstrable vestigial parts of the human genome. While evolutionists often claim that regions of the genome are junk DNA and would not have been placed there by designers, none have actually shown this to be true. Evolution cannot explain the lack of genetic diversity among the Homo sapiens species. Were evolution and old Earth theory true, the human population would show a much larger genetic variance. Despite the large and ever-increasing number of breeds of dogs and the fact that some purebred lineages of dogs are reproductively isolated from other dogs, no new species of dog has evolved.
Give me the best argument for macroevolution extrapolating from micro. What is it?
Well, it's the whole scale of evolution. You pick a small amount of time, there's a little bit of change, you add up a little bit of change over not trillions but billions of years, and you amass a large amount of change.
Right, that's the theory, but what's the evidence for that?
I can't present it right now.
There are no historical records of anyone directly observing one species evolving into another, which would certainly be something worth writing about. With the millions of species we have, someone would have witnessed one come into existence had it evolved.